PeacefulNik, the medium, and we are here today doing free live mediumship and tarot readings, tarot and oracle readings. But first, we are going to, our little topic of discussion today is going to be talking about the astrology and the astronomy. Oh, I had my computer on running
I'm
and there's
turning mine on so I can look at the comments.
yeah, that's exactly why I had it on. But it's the astrology and astronomy of eclipse season and Mercury retrograde. So we are fast approaching the Mercury retrograde season. But before we get started about with all of that, why don't we first talk about what we have going on? I'll let you start, Nick, if you want to tell the audience everything that you've been crazy busy with here recently.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm PeacefulNik the medium. I got a new orchid. Isn't she pretty?
Beautiful.
So excited about it. If you can
Yay.
fall in love with a plant, I fall in love with both of these two plants right here. I know that sounds crazy. Um,
Nope.
but I'm on this whole plant kick. I am an evidential medium and I have a science background. My master's degree is in astronomy. So I brought props tonight. So we are going to learn how eclipses work scientifically and astrologically, which is going to be amazing. I have the Spirit Exchange, which is full except for you can buy an a la carte. I only have a couple spaces left. They're only $25 for an a la carte Spirit Exchange. Um, and it's a 90-minute gallery with myself and certified medium Kathy Behrens, and it's once a month. And so you can, a la carte if you want to come one time or 5 times, whatever you want. Just go on my website, PeacefulNik, N-I-K, themedium.com, and you can buy the a la carte. As always, I do private one-on-one readings that are a full reading and have mini readings that are only a few, 15 minutes for only $35. And I have my beginner's mediumship class that has just started. I do one-on-one classes for mediumship. We schedule those at both of our, schedule availabilities. I'm working on 2 huge projects for my Mars organization I work for. And so that's been taking up a lot of my time. And yeah, and I've been going live more and more and more as much as I possibly can, trying to, get the word out that mediumship is good and helps people heal. If it doesn't heal them completely, at least it starts them or continues them on their healing journey.
What? You're
Oh, and
not.
I did a live earlier on here about twin flames and soulmates. So,
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
and some other stuff we talked about.
So, I am the Cannastrologer. My name is Abby, and I am a tarot card reader, healer, and canna leader. I work in the cannabis space. Many of you guys know me from there. But I use tarot as my main form of divination and connection with the spirit realm. I'm natural born. I'm going to eventually be doing some actual certified training, but right now I'm working on a couple projects and collaborations with a few media groups that you will start to see me appearing online and in their publications here shortly. So I'm really excited to launch that here in April. So just be watching my channel and you guys will get to see all of that. My channel and all of my social pages, all of that information on both myself and PeacefulNik is in the description below this video. And with me being in the cannabis industry, April is a huge month. Obviously, 420 coming up, which is just like the International Cannabis Plant Medicine, celebration day. It's like cannabis Christmas is what we always call it. And so as a special for the month of April, since April is the 4th month of the year, I'm giving a 20% discount off of all of my readings for 20,
That's
including
awesome.
including even my 420 special, which is 4 cards for $20. But you'll get 20% off of that as well. All of my contact information is in the description below this video. So just hit me up there. I also have my newsletter. I'm running a little bit behind on that, but I've been busy behind the scenes working on this collab stuff. So there's going to be a lot of information to share here shortly. And then you and I have taken a slight hiatus. And so we're just getting back on
Mhm.
track as well for our weekly Friday live streams. So
Yes.
I
Life
see we've got
happens.
I see we have a couple people popped on. Just want to remind you guys, if you guys are interested in a free live tarot, oracle, or mediumship reading, just drop a comment in the comments below, um, and let us know which type of reading that you would that you're interested in. But in the meantime, let's get talking about this astrology and astronomy of eclipse season. I am so excited that you brought the props because
I'm a
I'm telling you,
teacher
like,
at heart, you know.
honestly, like, that would make my life so much easier when I'm trying to explain what retrograde is to
Ooh,
any of my clients,
and I
because
can show that with these as well.
honestly, when you google what is Mercury retrograde, like 9 times out of 10 posts, the first thing they say, it's an optical illusion. And I'm like, how do you
I
describe
can
an optical illusion?
I'll show it with my props. It is an
Yes.
optical illusion from our perspective. And
Yes.
Kristen has a great question for you. She was on my live earlier. I was touting our live earlier.
Fantastic. So
What
tarot reading is using it's a divination tool using tarot cards. And tarot, the standard Rider Waite tarot, which is what most tarot card decks are based off of, it's 78 cards. You've got your I don't know, I'm blanking right now. It's the main arcane, the major arcana and the minor arcana. And basically it's just using the personalities and characteristics of each card, and it comes up as kind of like a message. You put together the messages, and you can ask your spirits any questions. It's just a form of communication with the spirit realm. They use cards. Some other mediums, they use things like taps, knocks, clairvoyance, clairaudience, which I'm also clairaudient as well, and I'm a lot of things. But this is I'm a lot of things. But this using cards, tarot, is what I use. It's what I'm most confident in using as far as channeling with the other side. And then on in addition to tarot, there's also oracle, which also includes cards. Now, the difference between tarot and oracle is that tarot is based off of the 78 cards, Rider Waite tarot and whatnot. And then oracle is based, like, you can create oracle off of anything. You can create your own
Mhm.
oracle. It just
I
kind of
didn't know
depends.
that.
Yeah, oracle is just, it's messages, that you read, that you connect with. It can be anything. It can be, like, I've got oracle decks that are like celestial bodies and astrology and things like that. I've got moon oracle decks, and they give you the messages of that particular moon. The way that I like to describe the difference is that tarot tells you like it is, and oracle's like, there, baby, it'll be okay.
Oh, I
Hmm.
see. That's a good distinction.
Yeah, and that's why I like to use them together, because tarot gives me the details of the situation. It helps me read the energy of what's happening in a specific situation, and I mean, it's very straightforward with the tarot. With the oracle, then the oracle gives you like a softer surrounding idea of what's kind of happening around the scenes of those details. So, and every reader uses them differently. It just kind of depends. Makes sense. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So, we as readers, we have to put, as a disclaimer, that this is used for entertainment. We're not psychologists. I mean, not all of us, obviously. There's a, there's a huge argument, but people say there's no true science behind astrology and tarot reading and whatnot. But for the people who believe, it's they have firm faith in using divination and tarot, and just kind of, following your heart, following your intuition and instinct with the messages that come through. So it's different for everybody. And if it
Mhm.
resonates, that's what you hold within you.
Yeah, and I still have mine. You're gonna teach me someday.
Yes. Yes. We're getting there.
And well, and the tarot readers like yourself tell me that you're connecting to spirit when you're shuffling and those cards fall out, that's spirit using you as a vessel.
100%.
And that's so important for people to know, because anybody could pick up a deck and look at up the meaning and just flip some cards and say some stuff. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
But that doesn't mean there's a meaning behind it if you're just looking up the meaning and flipping the cards. You have to, it's like when I do a mediumship reading, you have to be connected to spirit. You have to tell spirit, like every time before you use your tarot cards, you say a few sentences about, messages for Nicole and the greater
Your
good of
intention.
all. And yeah, you put your intention out. And I think there's a big difference because there's a lot of people on the internet who are doing these things, and they're just blah 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 blah, and they're charging people money, and they're keeping a list, and send me $25 on my Venmo or whatever, and I'll put you on the list, and then they're just saying random stuff that's meaningless.
Yeah, and and I'm not going to call out readers for, there's a lot, me having a marketing background. There's a lot of things that I catch online that kind of irritate me, because for me it's the message, the material, you know the nuts and bolts of what you're trying to get across to the person. That's what helps a person the most. And then you see these misleading titles and taglines, and all those are is clickbait that has nothing to do with the actual message itself. So it's like,
Mhm.
you have to find a reader that you resonate with, that clicks, that you trust. But that's why there's so many of us out there. Every reader is different, so you just have to use your intuition. That's what it's all about. But
And
that said, oh, go
get
ahead.
like, I'm sure if someone emailed you and said, Abby, I really want a tarot reading, and this has happened to me several times. I really want a reading, but this happened to me today, this morning, actually. I really want a reading, but the last person I paid did not connect to spirit. They just said some BS, and it didn't make any sense for me or my mom or whatever the and I will always give you references. I have so many testimonials in my email box. I can't post them all but I'm happy to share them if anybody wants. I have loyal clients that I am 100% sure would do a reference, and I'm
Oh
sure
yeah,
you have the same. If you
absolutely.
are skeptical of a reader, ask for references. Ask to talk to somebody that doesn't have their same last name. I mean, you can I'm an open book. You can look me up and see all the people I'm related to. It doesn't bother me, and find my actual clients. I will always provide that, and I'm sure you're the same, Abby.
100%. And also, check out their social pages. Check out,
Yes.
and now
Websites.
again, my marketing background, anybody can fluff up a social page, but it's like really check out, who's commenting, or, YouTube obviously is a great one. Look at their followers. Are they engaging, with comments and actually, speaking back and forth? Are they a real person? That kind of stuff. So, but so anyway, we're kind of going on a tangent. Um,
That's okay. It's
yeah,
important, and it's probably the one of the most important things for people to know so they don't get scammed.
oh,
If somebody has a long social history, that's different than somebody who popped on TikTok 3 days ago and has 400 videos that they posted all at once. That's a red
all
flag.
on the same day. And
Yeah.
the other thing too is, if anybody contacts you and reaches out to you saying, spirit called me to reach out, I feel your vibe, and I just
Oh,
need $500 in order to unblock all your chakras. Guys,
yes.
that's a scam. And
Yeah.
those people are the people that make us look bad. So
Oh,
real readers, real true mediums are never going to reach out saying, oh, I felt called, to do a reading for you, XYZ. Like, if you're interested in connecting with spirit, you come to us, you will find us, and there's a reason for it. Everything happens for a reason. So, all you have to do is, yes, Nick is legit. She's amazing. And I think that's why how we've known each other for so long. We clicked oh so many years ago.
Oh
So
God. We have some
that's so funny. But so yeah, so today we're here talking about astrology and astronomy and eclipse season, but also Mercury retrograde. And I can't wait for you to talk about, that. See, and the difference between astrology and astronomy is astrology, is not necessarily looked upon as a true science. That's what people say, but astronomy, the study of the stars and space, is. And that's where you have your master's. Is a
hmm
master's?
Yep, it's right there.
Yep, yep. So she's got her master's in astronomy, and she's able to explain the science behind why Mercury retrograde is what it is. And then on my side of the fence, I talk about the effects of on the more metaphysical side, and what happens and where people's energy is. And this season, this particular Mercury retrograde is even more interesting because it is directly affected by eclipse season. So we'll get more into that in just a second. But so we should probably first start with eclipse season because it already started.
Okay.
We just dove into the eclipse season with the lunar eclipse on, I believe it was March 25th. I think it was just the other day.
I don't know. Everything's a blur since hubby's surgery. So
Well, that's a prime example. That's a prime example of the kind of energy and things that happen around eclipses, around Mercury retrograde. It's culmination points and endings, but also, eventual beginnings. That's actually more of the solar eclipse at the end of eclipse season. But it's on a full moon. Lunar eclipses are always on a full moon, always.
yep.
And mhm,
Otherwise you wouldn't see it.
right. And lunar eclipses, well, first off, full moons are about endings. Lunar eclipses are about powerful
Here's the
revelations.
moon I made.
I love it. I love it.
I brought props, everybody. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is great. So with the lunar eclipse, so it's like an energetic ending or culmination point. And what's interesting is if the eclipse's sign that it's in at the time of the eclipse coincides with one of your signs, especially like your big three, sun, moon, or rising, then you can feel these energetic, exciting, like turning points that happen even more so than somebody that doesn't have that. So, for instance, this last
Oh, I
lunar
never
eclipse,
thought about that.
yep. So, this last lunar eclipse was in Libra. So, if you have any Libra placements anywhere strong in your chart, you more than likely were feeling this last eclipse a lot heavier than others. I have a 5-time Libra stellium in my chart. So, all kinds of weird stuff was happening to me just
I
out of the
don't
blue.
think I have any Libra anywhere major.
So, and Libra is all about balance. It's about justice. Prime example of what went down for those of us who pay attention to pop culture, the whole Diddy thing that's going on right now. So the lunar eclipse full moon happened the other day. It was a full moon, which talks about endings in Libra, which is all about justice and balance and legal and law. Then we've got the Mercury retrograde, which we're already in the pre shadow of, and that is all about karma and things that if you haven't dealt with in the past, it comes back and bites you in the ass even harder, during Mercury retrograde season. So this is all kind of catching up with this whole P Diddy thing in the mainstream media right now. So I wouldn't be surprised. I know he happens to be a Scorpio. Because that's so close to Libra, I would not be surprised if he doesn't have strong Libra in his chart somewhere. So that said, it's just well then, and of course also the unfortunate incident and accident that happened in Massachusetts.
The bridge.
So those, yeah, so it's like those types of massive events and culmination points. That's what lunar eclipses are all about. um so that's when it started, and that's the beginning of the eclipse season that then runs through the next moon cycle, which then is the new moon. uh and it's called the solar eclipse. And you'll be able to explain to everybody the
Astronomy.
astronomical.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. um but solar eclipses are all about new beginnings. So it's like you're purging everything during a lunar eclipse and getting rid of all stagnant energy and the things that you don't need anymore, and fear and worry and, old cycles and all that stuff. And then you have this period of complete transformation in between during eclipse season, learning all the lessons and figuring out all the energy and all the things that you need to do to get back on track. And then you start your new beginning with the solar eclipse. That's, in a nutshell, the basic energy, you know, synopsis of what an eclipse season kind of entails.
And for people who are let me just say a couple of things before I do my visual. Astrology and astronomy historically were the same thing. Okay? The three wise men from the Jesus days, that came for his birth.
Days of Jesus, sweet baby Jesus.
There weren't only three. It just got in. There's a long whole story, but the wise men, okay, they were astrologers, magi, magicians, and so astrology and astronomy were one thing because they could see all the stars in the sky because there was no light pollution. And astronomy and astrology are the oldest of sciences. So they were both considered the same thing in science. Over time, they kind of got divided into two. And I actually had an educated woman ask me the other day. She goes, "Oh, your master's degree is in astrology, right?" So people still get the two. I used to get made fun of at a job because I taught astronomy full time for many years and as a professor, an adjunct for a long time. And people used to say, "Oh, you teach astrology?" So people still get the two mixed up.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So astronomy today, in this modern day and age, is the science of the motions of the planets and the stars and the galaxies. Astrology is the study of all of that and how it affects us. Now, as a scientist and a medium, I understand our body is 70% water. And the moon, my little moon here, when it comes and goes and gets closer and further, it's controlling the tides, and the tides are water. Our body is mostly water. And so, why wouldn't it, if you've ever been pregnant, your brain shrinks because your body water doubles. So, if that affects you, why wouldn't the motion of the moon coming closer and further, et cetera, et cetera? You can extrapolate that for all of the motions of the planets.
Right.
So, or something else I was going to say, but I completely lost it. Do you want me to explain how the eclipses work?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I don't have enough hands, but I'm going to do my best. Here's the sun, obviously. It's just on a colored pencil with tape. So inexpensive little um, visual aids here. The sun, the moon has the little gray dots on it, and the earth has the little blue waves and the little green. It's just so you can keep track of which one's which.
Gotcha.
Audience. So the sun, I'm going to put the sun here. Okay.
I love it. Can't wait to
So,
snapshot this for clips later on.
so the moon goes around the earth. The moon goes around the earth. Both of them go around the sun. So it's not as simple as, and the earth is a sphere. It's not flat, even though my visual aid is flat. The earth is a sphere. So we're going around the sun. We're going around each other. Well, actually, the moon's going around the earth. The earth and moon are going around the sun. I know I look ridiculous, but that's
It's all
okay.
good. I'm
It's all for
following
learning.
you. I'm following you.
So when you've got the earth here and the sun's back there, and here comes the moon's going to go around. Sometimes the moon is on the other side of the earth, the further side, and sometimes it's in between. So that's the difference between the eclipses. Is the moon far away from the sun, or is the moon closer to the sun? Now, this is 93 million miles, by the way,
Nice.
150 million kilometers for those using the metric system.
Now, which
So,
is which?
so if it's a full moon and you get a lunar eclipse, the Earth is covering up the light from the sun. So the full moon, and oh my God, I could talk about this all day because there's all kinds of really cool geometry going on here.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so the
Hi,
Earth,
Joe. I love the reference.
so the Earth is blocking the sun's rays on the moon during a lunar eclipse because technically the moon's moving around the Earth like this. But this is the order. The Earth is in between. Now, when it's a new moon and there's a solar eclipse, what happens? We're on Earth and the moon's going around. We can't see the moon because it's a new moon. And then the moon blocks our point of view, the sun. And that's what happens April 8th. And
Yes.
then it
And
moves around.
now, also something unique about solar eclipses is that there's partial solar eclipses and then there's total solar eclipses. The total solar eclipses are actually pretty rare. Um, and this next one coming up happens to be a total solar eclipse. Every time I say it, I've got clairaudience again. So it's like music in my brain. You know what song I'm singing? Total eclipse of the heart.
Do you want
Like
to
it's
know
just
why we have total solar eclipses
why
and why we have partial solar eclipses or annular eclipses, which is an annulus, which is a ring?
I have that written down
Because
right here. Yes.
it's like one mind. Because the moon is going around the earth, around and around and around. Sometimes it doesn't go around in a perfect circle. It goes around an elliptical orbit. Now, I
Right.
know you know, I'm telling the audience,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to talk down to you. Teaching, this is my teacher mode. This is
I know. And I'm over here like, yeah, yeah. So I get
so
excited about these things, guys. I just do.
because it's not a perfect circle, it's more like an egg shape, an oval shape. Sometimes the moon is closer to the earth and sometimes it's further. So sometimes it doesn't cover the full face of the sun. Now, the sun, a million Earths could fit inside the sun. So this is not to scale at
Right.
all. The sun would be as big as this bedroom, this office space compared to the Earth. So this is not to scale. But the moon, the elliptical orbit is enough to where sometimes when we have an eclipse, it only shadows a portion of the sun and we get an annulus. That's why it's called annular. It doesn't happen every year. It's
Right.
just an annulus is a ring. But then sometimes, if you look, see what I'm doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Watch. Because of the distance, it's going to cover it completely. And
Right.
that's how you get a total eclipse. We are the only planet moon system in our solar system to have total solar eclipses. There are so many oddities about the relationship between the sun and the moon and the earth that don't exist in any other planetary system in our solar system. The distance ratio between the sun and the moon and the size between the sun and the moon and the earth is exact to where we will have total solar eclipses. Now, 100,000, 200,000 years ago, that didn't happen because the moon was in a different position, still going
Right.
around the earth, but we're very special that way. So
Interesting.
that's how the eclipses work.
That is interesting. Now, speaking of this upcoming eclipse on April 8th, now kind of switching over to the astrology side again, the metaphysical. This next eclipse and new moon is going to be in Aries, and we're in Aries season right now. Aries is a fire sign, very passionate, controlling energy. Aries is also known as the Emperor, in reference to the tarot. So
Okay.
it's all about, rule and authority and taking charge and taking control. And so this next April full moon, you could feel like it's kind of like the theme is going to be like peer pressure, right? And it's like if you feel that you're being controlled or dominated, by someone or a social group, it's a great time to assert yourself and stand up
Mm,
for yourself. Um, in what you believe in, which plays off of the Libra lunar eclipse, because that's all about justice and speaking up for yourself and your beliefs, your morals, ethics, values, and goals and desires, right? But this is basically it's saying, sometimes it's better, like safety isn't always in numbers. Sometimes it's better to be the black sheep and face the crowd versus roll along with it. And so
mhm.
that's going to be kind of like a main theme for this upcoming Aries solar eclipse or
We've
solar
got a
eclipse in
comment.
Aries.
I want to hear your opinion about this comment.
So, not trying to scare you, but something bad is going to happen that day. Please be with God today. Okay. So for years and years, thousands of years, it's like in the Bible and all kinds of stuff. They have been saying, or people have historically thought that the solar eclipse is a bad omen because, especially with the total solar eclipse, it goes dark for a certain amount of time. Back in the day, they called it the serpent eating the sky because as it, starts to cover the moon, it kind of looks like a serpent engulfing the moon. So traditionally, historically speaking, it's been like a bad omen, a bad sign. Many spiritualists will just say stay inside during the actual eclipse, but then many spiritualists also say that coming off of the solar eclipse, the first rain that comes through, stand outside and cleanse yourself, cleanse your energy with that washing away of all that negative stagnant energy. Why? Because solar eclipses signify new beginnings once it's over. So once it's over, then you move forward with a new beginning. But you're not
G- uh,
scaring me, Ochi or Och. I don't know how to pronounce that. Thank you for the comment, but that it does bring up a good historical point. So
mhm. And I would like to add to that, eclipses have been happening since the moon orbited the Earth, so billions of years. And we also have horrible things happening every day on this planet. Humans do terrible things, and it doesn't mean because there's an eclipse, it's a human's choice to do something terrible.
yeah,
Whether it's on an eclipse or not, the eclipse isn't the reason for it. They may plan something horrible on an eclipse day just to be whatever, but it's not the eclipse that causes the horrible thing. And just like Abby said, historically, they thought it was a bad omen. That's true because they didn't understand the science. Because
right,
remember, astrology and astronomy used to be one thing. Now we know why the eclipse happens. Back then, we didn't know what was happening. That was, thousands of years ago. We've known for a long time what causes eclipses.
right. So real quick, speaking of eclipses, and then we'll real quickly move on to the Mercury retrograde, which then
Oh yeah.
falls part of it. This year we are going to also have a second set of eclipses that happen. I want to say, okay, so it's going to be a partial lunar eclipse on September 17th, which will be visible in North and Central America and all of South America. And then the solar eclipse will take place on October 2nd, and it's annular, like you were speaking about, and will be visible in southern Chile and Argentina. So just FYI, that's our next set of eclipses coming up in 2024. So what's interesting though with this particular solar eclipse that we're about to witness is that it also coincides with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde. Okay, so Mercury retrograde is
I gotta
not
grab my book.
everybody's. It's not everybody's favorite. Um, Planet Mercury rules Gemini and I want to say Virgo also, but it's the planet of communication in astrology. And um, when a planet goes retrograde, which is what Nicole will also help explain here shortly, it, like a lot of, if you Google it, you'll see it online. It's like an optical illusion, right? It's
Mhm.
everything's still moving as it's supposed to. It's just an illusion based on distance. It's kind of like when you're in a car and
Yes.
you're you're sitting there and you're next to another vehicle and you're both going forward, but then somebody kind of slow, like, hits the brakes, and so you're still moving forward, but somebody starts to slink back, and it's an optical illusion.
Yeah. That's
And
exactly right.
right. And so, but this is a time when that optical illusion occurs in the cosmos. It's and it's based on the push and pull with the way people feel, and the moons and the energies within our bodies, our human, flesh, what we're wearing, flesh suits. That's what I was trying to say. Um, because it rules communication, anything having to do with communication can sometimes be topsy turvy, discombobulated. So instead of clear communication, you've got miscommunication. There's technology glitches. We'll see, especially with it being in Aries and with all the eclipses as well, we might see some solar flares and things like that is being forecasted. But then also transportation. So you'll see delays, and you should always make sure that your tires have air in them, your oil has been changed, like all the little things.
Unless you
Um,
have an electric car and you don't have to worry about the oil, because
I
I don't
mean, the
have one.
oil part, yes, but I would worry about the electric part. Mercury retrograde never ceases to amaze me or scare me. So,
I was
but
just
I don't want
shouting
to.
out electric cars. I was just
Yeah,
shouting
yeah.
out electric
And
cars.
also, and I'm not trying to scare people with Mercury retrograde, but it is a time where a lot of people, especially if you've got um Gemini or Virgo somewhere strong in your chart, because again, those are the planets that are most affected, unfortunately, each time Mercury retrograde comes up. And in some years you can have as many as four Mercury retrogrades
Yeah,
actually happening in a
that's right.
year. It's a time period of about 2.5 weeks, and there's always 2 weeks of pre-shadow where you can start to feel the effects as it builds up into the real, full term. And then there's 2 weeks of post shadow period, and that's just kind of wrapping up, like, what kind of trans transcends and happens during that time. Um so we have that coming up on April 1st, April Fools.
Woohoo!
And it lasts all the way through April 24th. And then plus that 2 week shadow period,
And the
basically
eclipse.
and the eclipse. So basically, that entire month of April is dominated by Mercury retrograde and affected by the lunar eclipse. I'm sorry, the solar eclipse. And it makes for very, very interesting energy.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I thought there was something else that I'd written about that. But if you want to explain
Okay.
Mercury retrograde and kind of how that works on the astronomy side.
So that one of the reasons why ancient astronomers and astrologers discovered there were planets and how we figured out the Earth was not the center of the solar system, because back in the day, they thought the Earth was the center of the solar system. It's called the geocentric view. Then, because we started, scientists back in the day started tracking the stars and they didn't know the planets were planets. Retrograde was one of the things, and you can track retrograde yourself. If you
Mhm.
find a planet in the sky every night, make a little map and dot it. Mars is really easy to do because it's usually pretty bright and readily available to see. So track it against the stars. I had to do this for my master's degree, actually. I had to track the retrograde of some planets, but the sun, okay, the planets go around the sun. We are on Earth. All right. Mercury. So this is now Mercury, not the moon anymore. I'm going to try to make that as wide as I can. Mercury is in between. It's the closest planet to the sun. It's not that close, but we're just going to pretend.
Right.
Okay. Um, as Mercury moves around the sun in, I want to say 88 days, is that right, Abby? The Earth also moves around the sun.
So, yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
The Earth is further, a lot further. So Mercury goes around faster. So and I should have a chalkboard, but I don't. Mercury appears to stop and reverse because of the fact that it's going at a different rate of speed than the Earth, just like the car analogy.
Right.
It looks like when you're sitting next to a parked car and you're like checking your phone after you get out of the grocery store and this car reverses and you're like, oh my God, what happened? And you
Right.
feel like you moved. That's exactly what's happening with Mercury retrograde and all of the other retrogrades, because they're moving at different rates. And as Earth's going around, Mercury appears to stop and go in reverse, but it's just an optical illusion. And if I had a whiteboard, I could draw it better. But it's the point of view from Earth that's important. It's the point of view from Earth. So as I can just drop the sun. So the sun's over here. So Mercury's going around and Earth's going around. So as the Earth passes Mercury from our point of view, and then Mercury goes faster. During this time in here, it looks like it's going backwards because Mercury's moving at a different rate of speed. I
Right.
hope that made sense.
It does. It also reminds me of, like, like a track, how that
Yeah,
the inner track, it always
that's
seems
right.
like, oh wow, they have the advantage, but really it's the same when you just move around. So anyway, and then what I was going to say too is, with Mercury retrograde in conjunction with the total solar eclipse, it's also going to be a really great time for you to review your situation, your environment at the time. It's a time to reflect and take stock of the past. And that's a big theme with Mercury retrograde anyway. Um, if Mercury retrograde is one of those reflection times that if you haven't dealt with anything in the past, it's going to come back even harder, even stronger during Mercury retrograde season. And so it's like, anybody hearing this now, if there's stuff that you need to take care of, bills, or, picking something up from, I don't know, the laundromat or the store, it's like, do it now, because, 3 days from now, or 4 days, whenever April 1st and whatnot, like, it, you could be traveling to the store and your car breaks down, and then you're not able to
Right.
get what you need or something like that. That's what happens when you put things off and then don't tend to it for Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is about catching up on all those things because the energy is so wonky. So, but it is a time, because of the solar eclipse, it's a time for new beginnings as well as a time to heal. And just like I was saying with that peer pressure, that Aries energy, limitless courage will be, courage will be a good thing to exercise as you learn from any of your mistakes in the past. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
So that is Mercury retrograde and the eclipse season, kind of in a nutshell for everybody. How does that apply to tarot and astrology and mediumship?
Well, how doesn't
Well,
it apply?
it's exactly, it's all energy. So if there's anybody out there, we've got a couple of viewers and we're already like 40 minutes in. We talked about this subject matter for a long time this week.
It's
If there's
important.
anybody out there interested in a tarot reading or a mediumship reading from Nick, you guys just drop a comment in the comments below and we'd be happy to do that for you.
And while we're waiting for that, it's Nini says, asking OJ what they mean about something bad happening on the eclipse. A lot of people are predicting bad things happening on the eclipse because it's something dramatic. I don't know if you remember, 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world, December 21st, 2012, because the Mayan calendar, which is a circle, was ending. And then a week before, there were all these books about the end of the world and all these shows and the end of the world and
Right.
drama, drama, drama. It's just drama. And if the world ends and I'm wrong, Well, I'll be in the spirit world, so who cares? You know,
Yeah, right.
I'm not that
But
worried about
the
it.
world didn't end, and there's been explanations on that too. It's Nini. You said yes, please. Are you wanting a tarot reading or a mediumship reading? And if so, please let us know which kind you would like. I was going to say something while you were talking. Thank you for elaborating. I have a feeling, just an easy feeling, and that's totally natural. Again, we're in Aries season, so that Aries season it's very aggressive energy. And so that uneasiness, that's Aries energy. Okay, so Kristen would like a tarot reading. Okay, wonderful. Hi, Josh. Welcome to the channel. And then it's Nini. Okay, so it's Nini. The difference between tarot, I'm doing tarot and I use the tarot cards. Now, Nick is a gifted medium, and where she connects with spirit through just intuition and channels, and then also you scribe a little bit too, don't you?
Mhm. Yep. Mhm.
So I
I
I
connect to
will.
your loved ones in spirit. So if you have a loved one in spirit who's passed away that you desperately want a message from, that's what I do.
Wonderful. So Kristen, I'm going to start with you. I'm using the Tarot of a Moon Garden for the tarot, and I'm going to do a basic energy pull. If there's a specific question that you have on your mind, focus on that as I'm shuffling the deck here. And this is for Kristen. Calling in our spirits for higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity for the greater good. For Kristen, please. What do we have for Kristen? Okay, underneath the deck, this is like underlying energy. It's the 9 of Staffs. Now this is fire energy. It's Aries season, Aries energy, Sagittarius, and Leo. The 9 of Wands is my wounded warrior energy. It's the wounded warrior card. The wounded warrior is somebody who's very wise, very knowledgeable, but it's because they've been through the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. They've been through the trenches, right? And they make a very wise, very brave leader, but they're also extremely tired because they've been through it, right? And they're ready to get the 10th wand, put down the burdens, and start a new cycle. So this is the underlying energy, and I feel like this is maybe where you're at right now, just feeling kind of exhausted. And it may not even be from you being drugged through the trenches per se, but it could even be like the astrological energy that we've been speaking about because of the way that the moons between the full moon and now the solar eclipse and whatnot, because it has an energetic pull on all of us. That said, you could also be dealing with the Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy as well, who has this energy within them. Let's get 3 cards for Kristen, please. What do we have for Kristen, please? Okay, 2. Oh, beautiful. Okay, 1 more for Kristen. Okay. So the first card that popped out is the 7 of Staffs. So this is much like the same type of energy. It's that fire energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The 7 of Staffs is all about defending yourself, your ethics, morals, beliefs, values, goals. It's still like a defensive state, a warrior type of energy where you're sticking up for yourself, maybe even sticking up for others. Um, but it's also a card of alignment. It's getting yourself into alignment and putting up personal boundaries, defining your personal space, separating yourself from yours and others. Much like what I was talking about earlier with the solar eclipse energy, it's like finding the courage to put up your own boundaries. So I have this energy in like the recent past, is what I'm feeling. And the reason that you're doing this is because we've got the Fool coming in, and this is present energy. The Fool is talking about taking a leap of faith and starting something new. Now, as we approach this solar eclipse, it's all about new beginnings. That's what this is talking about. So, you could be, starting something new. It could be with work, because the next card that I see coming in is the King of Pentacles. Pentacles are money, coins, pinnacles, anything material. And so you could be starting a new career, starting a new job. Um, you also could be potentially even starting a relationship with the King of Pentacles. It could be a boss, a CEO, or Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. Whether it's you have that in your chart or somebody that does, but the King of Pentacles is somebody who works all the time, very much like that. Oh gosh, it's like the wounded warrior energy, somebody who's like just tired because they're always working, but he takes care of everybody around him. He's focused on his money. I always say, mind on my money and my money on my mind. Like, that's the energy that the King of Pentacles is all about. So very material. And then, but what I love about this is that whatever this new start is, whatever's coming in with this King of Pentacles energy, whether that's you or another person that's coming to bring you into this type of energy and help you along this path, this new beginning, underneath the deck, we're talking about Three of Cups energy. And Three of Cups is all about celebration. So this is going to be a really fantastic transition for you. There's going to be a lot to celebrate. The Three of Cups is all about emotions and feelings, and it's water sign energy. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. So you could have that somewhere in your chart or be dealing with someone who does. But overall, it's just a message and a feeling of celebration. So that is what I have for you, Kristen. I hope you enjoyed the reading and that it resonated with you.
Absolutely beautiful. I love that. And one of these days, you're going to teach me those tarot cards.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll do a class, especially we'll do an overview for one of our next readings. We have to do that. So I love this. I can totally resonate with it. Wonderful. I'm so glad. Thank you, Kristen.
Awesome. Very nice. Anita, are you still there? Anita wants to talk to her dad. I'm going to try to connect. To let me know if you're still there. I don't want to connect till I know you're there. And the problem on these lives, oh, hi, Nini, is sometimes it takes a while for the chat, but looks like the chat's doing well tonight. Sometimes it takes a long time and it's kind of nerve-wracking. Okay. Nini, for your dad, Anita, for your dad. First of all, I am hearing two things. One, he showed me a dove. Do you understand? Is that your symbol for him? Do you see doves? Do you understand why he would show me a dove? And then the second thing is he's kind of telling me a funny nickname like Panini, something funny about your name that he called you. Do you understand that? It doesn't have to be Panini. It's just the way I'm hearing it. But different than your screen name, something different. Maybe I was worried about where he is. Okay. So your just to verify, your dad is passed away, correct? Yeah, okay, that's right. All right, you told me. Um, okay, everybody hold comments while I wait for it's Nini. So just to let you know, he's safe and at peace. He's not in HE double hockey sticks, if I can say that, because I don't want to get banned off here. No one goes to you know where, because that's not a real place. That's kind of morphed from an ancient historical story into a spiritual place, but it's not a spiritual place where people go. So if you're worried that there was a reason why he would go to a bad place, there is no bad place in the spirit world. Everyone crosses over and goes to the spirit world and is safe and at peace. So you don't have to worry about that no matter what he did. And I know that's hard for people to understand. And it's hard for me. It was hard for me to understand and accept as a medium because, like everyone else, bad things have happened to me and anybody else. And so you think, oh, they're all going to burn, but they don't. So you don't have to worry about that. So, do you understand, Anita, a silly nickname he would have had for you or someone around you. Not the it's Nene, not your screen name, something else he's telling me. And and clarify if you understand the dove. And while I wait for that, Jenny says, will my son find a home for him and his children? I don't do psychic predictions like that. I don't know if you do, Abby.
I
My
can.
daughter, he called her Fruity. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. And now he's saying clone. So I don't know if I see birds, but I don't understand the dove yet. Okay. I don't know if you were very similar to your mom or dad and people said you were clones or twins, or if it's you and your daughter that are very similar in either look or personality, but he's talking about um that you and either your daughter or you and your dad or mom were very similar. Let me know if you understand that. Oh, and my chest, I feel like I just got punched in the chest. So do you understand something with his chest? Something happened with his heart or lungs? I feel a very strong pressure. My daughter is very similar to me, yes, and grandma. Okay, thank you. And let me know if you understand the chest. So it's either how your dad passed or something that has happened recently, something in the chest or heart or lung. He had a heart attack. Thank you very much. Okay, so know that he's safe and at peace. And yeah, it hit me very, very suddenly and strongly. And he's saying, I fully understand now. So that's his message for you. Ooh, he got into a fight and was in the ICU. Okay. That makes oof. He's saying I fully understand now. So he sees um the things that went wrong and he fully understands and he wants to say he's sorry. He said, I'm sorry for misbehaving. I'm sorry for misbehaving and that you are loved and he's proud of the mother you are. So I want you to hear his message and know that he's safe and at peace. And thank you for allowing me to connect with your dad, Anita. I hope that helps you.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So, oh wow, that's awesome. So OJ, you were up next. And I think you said your name is Olis. Are you wanting a tarot reading or are you wanting an evidential mediumship reading? And Josh, I think you want a tarot reading, correct? With the cards. If Oli is still there, or OJ, or Josh.
It's funny how thank you, Dawn and Nini, it's my pleasure. OJ wants the card.
Okay. All right. Then I will get started on that. I've got this for OJ. So focus on a question that you want answered, or if it's just general energy, just focus on that. What do we have for the spirits for OJ, for Arlie? Higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity for the greater good. What is in the cards for OJ, please? Higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity. Thank you. Underneath the deck, the underlying energy is the Ten of Pentacles. This is beautiful. We're talking about money. This is about not just money, it's also about family, it's about legacy, it's about empire. Could be inheritance, it could be work, 10 or more people or like a group of people. But 9 times out of 10, we're talking about money. It's like your jackpot, your lottery, or just, um, having, a lot coming into a large amount of money that could be on your mind, or that could be something that you just recently came into. So, what do we have? Three cards for OJ for Ollie, please. Three cards. Okay. Two more, please.
Oh,
It wanted to fly away. One more, please, for Ollie, for OJ. Woo. Okay. So underneath the deck, we have got the King of Cups. This is Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces energy. King of Cups is typically Cancer, but not. This could be you. This could be the energy of somebody that you're dealing with, or you could just have it somewhere like in your chart. You don't necessarily have to have this energy. You could just be in this energy. The King of Cups is somebody who's very wise, makes a great leader. He's very intuitive. Um, and he makes his decisions based on facts, logic, and wisdom. But he also is very compassionate because, the cups, the emotions, the feelings. So when he's making his decisions, he does take into consideration other people's emotions and feelings. He's compassionate with his decision making. Okay. So this is just like the underlying energy with this. Now, then the first card that came out is the Four of Pentacles. It's in reverse. This was in the past, recent past. Typically, when the Four of Pentacles is upright, again, we're talking pentacles, we're talking about money, coins, material goods. This talks about savings and holding on to it. Now, when it's in reverse, that means there hasn't been a lot of savings, or maybe there was something that was lost, or there was just some kind of imbalance when it comes to money or being able to save. But then present energy, we have got the Ace of Pentacles. And so this is, aces are gifts from the universe, and this is like the promise of or potential of like a new promising new endeavor that can bring in money, like a new project, a new job, a new career. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles talks about being left out in the cold, um, being excluded from a group, or excluded from some kind of activity. And this is what you're wanting to avoid. You have this project coming in. You may feel like you're the odd man out, at least getting started. But I feel like with this King of Cups energy underneath the deck, again, like if this is you, you're good on your own. You're able to make your rules, decisions. You're able to work independently, and but also like compassionately. And I feel like this Five of Pentacles energy is not necessarily you being left out on the in the cold. This is just, it's what you're like wanting to avoid, but you also may be working independently with whatever this new project is what I'm gathering. So that's what I have for you for that. I actually want to look what's under. Oh yeah. Yes, because I was like, for some reason, I want to look underneath the deck behind the King of Cups. Then we have the Emperor. This is, again, Aries energy. This is the time period that we're in right now. That's the Emperor. And this is somebody who makes his own decisions, that takes control of the situation, that, rules his domain. He's very balanced. He's got all of the elements within his own chart. And so, but you're compassionate, or you also could be working with somebody who's like that in a partnership of some sort. um and then behind that we have got the Star. This is Aquarius
mm,
energy. We're also in the age of Aquarius right now as we speak. And this talks about something that it like fulfills your wishes, hopes, dreams. It's very healing energy. Whatever this new project is, I feel like it's going to be very healing for you, especially if you're coming out of a period where you weren't able to save a lot. You also could be dealing with somebody who's kind of like a star, or in the spotlight, or celebrity status. Doesn't have to be, but it can just be somebody who's like public speaker, or um, you know, doing videos, or just in the limelight some way, shape, or form. But it's just about, goals, wishes, hopes, desires. And it may feel like it's a slow moving momentum, like it's taking a while with that Knight of Pentacles energy. He's the slowest moving knight in the deck, but what he brings with him is something that's so valuable, and so worthy. It's that ace. That's what the Knight of Pentacles is holding. That once it arrives, then it brings you to the Four of Staffs, which is stability, foundation, celebration. It's also the twin flame 1111 number, so could even bring in new relationships for you in the future as well. So that is what I've got for you, OJ. I hope that resonates and brings you clarity, insight, and answers. Um, Blessed be.
He hasn't said anything. And then Josh wants a reading, but I don't know what kind of reading he wants.
I think Josh wanted a card reading.
Oh,
It
okay.
was up in the, so I can get started with his, and we'll see if, okay,
Oh,
OJ,
good.
wow, yes, that's wonderful. I just got shivers when I saw that. So thank you, OJ. I appreciate that. All right. And now for Josh. I just cut the deck and I saw the Libra Justice card. So I'm already feeling like we've got something about balance and justice coming in. What do we have for Josh, please?
I've been putting our email and websites in the chat on my laptop, and they're not showing up on here, so I don't know if people can see those or not.
I might have it in the description, or do we have it in the
Yeah,
description?
but I
Okay,
like to put it in the chat, just,
right. It might be like a safety feature or something. I don't know.
yeah, spam or something.
Okay, Josh. Josh, book out. What do we have? Higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity for the greater good for Josh, please. Josh, focus your energy on the question that you want answered, or if you just want general energy. Okay, I heard one more, one more. Perfect. Josh. Okay, underneath the deck, we are looking at the Four of Staffs. That's Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. Very passionate energy. It could be passion towards a person or passion towards what you're passionate about: work, career, finance, business, passion projects. Now, just like I was telling OJ in the last reading, the Four of Staffs, Four of Wands is all about house, home, stability, foundation. It's like the four corners of like a house or a home or even an office building. Um, but it also, some readers, read it as your 1111, because 1 1 plus 1 1, and it's like two people coming together, um twin flame, soulmate, whatever you subscribe to. But again, this also could be about business stability, foundation, like that. That's underlying energy. So let's pull 3 cards for Josh, please. What do we have for Josh? Oh, 2 more. 1 more, please, for Josh. Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay, so underneath the deck, we have got the Death card. Now, don't let that scare you. As I said that, my solar plexus chakra just like went, ugh, like somebody got scared real quick. Don't let the death card scare you. This is number 13 in the tarot deck. 1 plus 3 equals 4, just like the card that we were talking about. So the death card in tarot is 9 times out of 10 actually talks about transformation. There's a huge transformation that's taking place. Now, in very small cases, if there was a death in your family or a death somewhere in your world, my condolences. But this is generally about not only transformation, but it's like a rebirth of some kind, a reset. And again, we're approaching this solar eclipse, and it's all about new beginnings. And so it's like a reset, a huge transformative time period that we're in right now. So speaking of transformations, we've got the Empress was the first card that popped out. This is Libra and Taurus energy. So the Libra lunar eclipse just happened, but the Empress is somebody who, whether you're dealing with like an actual female Empress, could be in your life, whether a girlfriend, a wife, just a female, friend, partner, companion, or someone in your world. This is the energy of somebody who everything she touches turns to gold. She's usually depicted as pregnant. So she could be pregnant, but also if not, if that's not what we're talking about, it's like somebody who just like starts projects and they, come to fruition almost as if by magic. She's very grounded, she's very balanced, she's very beautiful, likes nice things, delegates well. So this also could be you just in your feminine energy. So take it as it resonates. Don't try to force, her energy anywhere. But this is in the past, recent past. So this could be somebody that's, or you like your energy in the recent past. Then we have got the Hierophant. So this is more current energy. This is Taurus energy. So you very well could be also dealing with a Taurus or have Taurus somewhere strong in your chart. The Hierophant is card number 5, which is change of direction. So you could be having a change of direction in some aspect of your life. The Hierophant also is somebody who's very religious, spiritual, but more on the religious side. So we're talking more tradition. We're talking about like institution, and we're also talking about um, like higher forms of authority. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? um higher, like your higher forms of ascension. You could be ascending spiritually, looking at higher forms of of religion and esoteric or metaphysical studies. You also could be thinking about marriage and a house, a home with your empress, because he's like the pope, and if you see closely, he's got two people kind of bowing down to him.
Mm.
um so, he, and I have an incorrect clock here at home and it says 333 on the clock right now. You might want to look up angel number 333. It basically is a number that says your angels are with you, surrounding you to help you make the best decisions in a situation. Um, but yeah, he's about authority, hierarchy. This also could be some type like of boss, a CEO. If you're in any kind of justice or judge, like a case that involves judges or any kind of legal or anything like that, he could be like a judge. I don't know if that has anything to do with it as well. But what's interesting is then the next card is the Tower, and it's in reverse. So the Tower card is usually a card that talks about destruction and chaos, and a tower that's crumbling down. The silver lining to this card is that when a tower crumbles down, you're able to build it back up, from a more firm and stable foundation. And at the beginning of this reading, we had that 4 of Wands talking about stable foundation, house, home stability, right? And this is in reverse, which tells me that even though it's still a tower moment, there could have been something chaotic, something maybe not even chaotic, just something that changes a major part of your life, but not so much in a bad or devastating way. It's almost like a good tower moment, like you're making a decision that it's going to dramatically change your life, but for the better. And that's because we're in this season of transformation right now. I feel very strongly that it may have something to do with house, home, foundation, or stability, but it also could have something to do with work, that allows you to come into this like empress energy. You're definitely ascending. It's like a higher level of ascension, as you move through this transformation. It is going to rock your world a little bit, but this is also the energy of Mercury retrograde, which is what we're
Mm.
walking into right now.
Mhm.
So definitely mercurial retrograde type of energy, but it's nothing to fear. Oh yeah, especially since right behind the death card is the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, we're looking at that it's the promise of prosperity, a new project, something very successful. So whether or not this is a relationship or whether or not this has to do with house, home stability, foundation, or just a higher level of ascension of any sort, I do see it outcome looking successful. So that's what I have for you, Josh. I hope that helps. Keep your new job. Okay, yeah. So there could still be, like I said, as we look at this tower card energy, there still could be something that kind of rocks the foundation, but it's like you're looking at it from like you're ascending as this happens. So it could be a good change is what I'm trying to say. So I hope that helps. And also that death card and the tower in reverse, that's Scorpio energy. You also could be dealing with a Scorpio, or you could have it somewhere strong in your chart. So that
I
is what
ju
I have for
I
Josh.
I just checked my chart, and I'm Sun and rising Sagittarius, obviously. But I have Venus, Mars, and Jupiter are all Scorpio.
Oh, your Venus is Scorpio? Girl.
I don't
Yeah.
know what that means, but I know it's like crazy.
Venus is yes, it is. Venus is the planet of like love. And
I
so
knew that. So it's that. Okay.
yes, you're welcome,
Okay.
Josh.
That was such a good reading. I love it. And Dawn, listen, my husband has recently had surgery and I need to go tend to him because I've been gone like an hour and 15 minutes. But I know you're a loyal follower and keep watching my Facebook and TikTok and YouTube for when I'm going to go live next. I'm going to try to go live Monday or Monday night. I'm going to try. So watch out for that and I will put you at the top of my list. I'm too tired right now to give a good reading. And I don't want to disappoint you. So look out for me Monday, hopefully, because I have readings all day tomorrow. Yeah, he's struggling. Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, I don't want to give
And
you a crappy reading.
we are over.
Yeah.
We also had Jenny who was hanging out there. I don't know what kind of reading that she was looking for, but if she's still there, I can do a card reading one more quickly. Otherwise, if you want to join us next Friday, we can put you at top of the list as well.
And we'll be on my channel, PeacefulNik the Medium, next Friday.
Yes.
So
So
same time, but we just kind of go back and forth to kind of share the love.
yes. Try to
And then,
bring everybody to our backyards.
yeah. And then next week I won't be live probably tomorrow and definitely not Sunday, but next week I'm going to try to do a few lives during the week. Okay, Dawn?
Fantastic. And then Jenny just said card is fine, so I'm going to wrap her up real quick.
If I click X, will that knock you off?
I don't think so.
Because I need to go check on Dougie.
That's fine. I think
Okay,
I'll hang on. So
if I knock her off, I'm sorry.
if she, I think it'll be okay. But if she knocks you off, then we'll definitely get you next week, Jenny. But just right now, thank you, Nick, so much, and we will see you again next week. And tell the hubs that we are sending all the healing vibes.
Thank you very much. Bye.
All right.
Bye,
See ya.
everybody. Leave stream. The
Okay.
stream will still be live.
Fingers crossed, Jenny. Okay, here we go. We're still here. All right. Hi, Jenny. Okay, so focus on either a specific question or if you just want a general energy message. Calling in our spirits for higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity for the greater good. What do we have for Jenny, please? Underneath the deck, we've got the Temperance card. She is the angel of the tarot deck. So you are being protected right now. You have an angel around you. I'm feeling Archangel Michael. So the Temperance card is all about tempering energy, balancing energy between two worlds, the 5D and the 3D. Um, there could be something that you may be struggling with or thinking about on a spiritual level and how it applies to the three-dimensional. And if it's challenging, just know that your angels are around you. You have protection. All right, let's get 3 cards for Jenny, please. What do we have for Jenny? 2 more cards. Thank you. 1 more. One more card, please, for Jenny. Thank you. Oh, interesting. Okay. So underneath the deck, oh, wow. Underneath the deck, we have the King of Cups again. Underneath the deck. So King of Cups has been popping out. So again, this is that masculine energy, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You could have it somewhere strong in your chart or be dealing with a masculine energy of someone who does. or this could be your masculine side of you. The King of Cups is somebody who's, again, wise ruler, very intuitive. He rules with logic, wisdom, and authority, right? But he also has compassion and thinks about the other people when making his decisions. So then we've got what popped out is the Death card first. That's showing up again. Now, Scorpio energy. You could have Scorpio somewhere strong in your chart, more water sign energy. Card number 13, 1 plus 3 equals 4. Could also be dealing with house, home, stability, foundation, but this is more about transformation. Again, we are literally in the eclipse season, so it's a very transformative time. So it doesn't surprise me to see this card pop out. But the death card, yeah, it's about, endings and beginnings, death and rebirth. So anything that has left your life, like with that lunar eclipse, now is the time, that transition time, that it's soon to be rebirthed. I feel like right now you are in a period of kind of like mental, it's like mental, what's the word I'm looking for? When you're taking like a mental break, like R&R, rest and relaxation. It's just you've had a lot of things stimulating you recently. And see, swords are all about the four of swords. Swords are all about communication. It's air energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Again, you could have that somewhere strong in your chart or be dealing with somebody who does. And again, this air energy, this is Mercury retrograde. This is the energy of Mercury retrograde. This is telling me it's a great time for rest. Make sure that you get your rest. It's like self care, and it's taking time to be able to power through while all of these energies are hitting you through this Mercury retrograde and eclipse season. And what's really interesting is that the next card coming in is the moon. So the moon is all about endings. Um, and then we also have the full moon coming up at the end of April, which is on April. Oh, that's interesting. So the April full moon is actually in Scorpio, which was the very first card, that death card. It's called the pink moon, and it's going to be on the 23rd. So you might want to write down April 23rd. There could be some significance for you where you may have some type of a culmination point or be making some kind of decision. It's like why you've been in this period of mental rest, um, giving you time to make a decision, take some action on something. Also, the moon card is about secrets. So there could be secrets that you're learning or that you're questioning, and or that could be illuminated by the time of the full moon. And I feel very strongly that it has something to do with the Scorpio full moon at the end of the month. You also it could be dealing with like a king of cups in regards to this situation. But secrets will be coming out. You'll be finding out information. I feel like right now, intuitively, that's what you're thinking about. And it may have, and maybe even like resting, having to, it's like rest and rejuvenation. Like you're taking time out for yourself, which is beautiful and needed, especially during this time period right now. And then, yeah, nights. That's what I've got for you. Like I feel like also like the solar eclipse that's coming up, because the moon card can also signify, if you look in this card, it's like a full moon, but also that dark moon, that's the new moon. So you also could have some significant discoveries, is the word that I'm looking for, popping up at the time of the solar eclipse, which is going to be that Aries energy. So that's what I have for you, Jenny. I hope that that helps bring you clarity, insight, or answers to your situation and what you were thinking as well. Josh, happy Easter to you. Thank you. Kristen, thank you as well. OJ, I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. So Nick had to hop off, and I'm going to be wrapping up here as well. I want to thank everybody for joining us for this week, and we will be doing this again next week, same time at 3 p.m., 6 p.m. Awesome. Thank you, OJ. Next Friday. So I hope that you guys have a. Oh, thank you, Jenny. I really appreciate you. So I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for popping on. Look forward to reading for you again and having discussions with you next week. You guys have a blessed week. Stay safe and see you on the flip side. Peace.